Brittany for a second. So Brittany has been in our mentor program now for the last month, and she joined in at the 1 month program. So we have a 1 month or 16-month option, and she decided to start with the 1 month and now has said, oh my gosh, I've like got so much out of it. I want to move forward. So tell us, Brittany, and I want to give people a chance to ask you any questions they might have. What were you struggling with before? What are you noticing right now that's shifted? And, what has led you? Well, let's just start with those two.
I think we have worked more on connection. My youngest Lily just turned 4, and she recognizes when she needs a hug, and mommy, I need a hug. And it calms her down. And if that doesn't, okay, well, let's give a hug. If you're not ready, or if you're still not ready to listen, I walk away. Our when thens have been really helpful. We've been using a lot of when thens lately. Just coming up with a plan, knowing that I have a plan in the back of my head, really works. Okay, we're going to do this. We'll watch TV for 15 more minutes. And then it's time for bed. And when they know what to expect, there's less of a fight. So that's been really helpful.
Yeah, absolutely. And then and so you started with the 1 month. What parts have you been liking the best about the program that have led you to want to do the full 16-month?
I really love the community. I mean, I've read a lot of parenting books, and it's one thing to remember everything that you read. And it's like, okay, well, the book told me to do this, but this isn't working. So what am I going to do? And then, I panic, and they feed off of you when they see you like that. So I love the community, being able to talk to Flora, being able to talk to other parents, and on like a consistent basis. You have somebody who's like in the same boat as you, and you're just learning off of each other. So it's nice to have that sense of community.
Awesome. So lots of people have been asking me questions, parenting wise, and we will get back to a little bit more of that. But if anyone has a question they'd like to ask of Brittany, who's been through the 1 month mentorship, or Leah, who's been through the full 16-month membership, of having mentorship and having the combined pieces, let's go ahead and let you unmute and be able to ask that now. And while people are getting ready to unmute, I guess I just want to share, these are the options of the 2 mentorships. So the one is 2 payments of $250. And actually right now that gets you a bonus month. So 2 months, all of July, all of August. So you're heading into the school year, having foundations of tools to be more kind and firm at the same time, and feeling more calm and confident. And for those that are like, I want a totally different school year, I'm ready to really make this change. So I head into Christmas and we are looking back, and I'm like just moving in from the transformation I made, then into a 2023 that is like transformationally different. We're getting along. I feel like I'm myself again as a mom. Me and my partner are on the same page. My in-laws and my parents are noticing a difference in my kids. Those people, I would invite you, this is how folks have been getting there, is the 16-month transformation. But if you want to start in at the 1 month and you do get a portion of that 16-month transformation, you can always upgrade, which Brittany has chosen to do. So you could start with the 1 month, which right now you get a bonus. So you're going to get the support for both July and August. And you could decide down the road if you want to move up to the full transformation. So yeah, let's open it up. Who has a question about any piece of this for Brittany or for Leah? Elizabeth or Molly? Anyone want to unmute to ask anything? Or those that are on Facebook, I'm keeping an eye out to see if we've got any questions coming up there.
Laura, I would just like to kind of add into that. Like, I know some of our moms, they said, oh, our kids are so young. Our kids are so little. How much do they really understand? How do I go about it? And so I think I said this at the beginning, but I started this when my youngest was not even 2. And she picked it up so quickly. She is definitely my boundary tester and will, give me all of my gray hairs. But I have to be super, super silly with her. Like, we have to sing about everything to kind of encourage that cooperation. And then she's good with it. But if I try to force her to do something, it doesn't ever go well. And so it's not that it never happens where I'm like, I need you to just do this. But I am very, very quick to go, hold on. We know that tool does not work. What do I need to do? What was my plan ahead of time? What do we know works? And so being able to recognize that super quick in myself and go, she's not my dog. She's not going to do what I said right away. Without her having some buy-in into it, I think was a huge shift for me.
That's awesome. I appreciate you sharing that. It's so true because it is easy to wonder where, is this too early? And like one mom said who joined the program, you remember you were in it, I think, alongside Hillary, and she started when her daughter was 12 months, or son was 12 months old, and said, it's like, I feel like I got to start out with a roadmap and the like handbook to my child that I'm now going to be able to have these tools to use for the rest of parenting. And for those that are on the opposite end with older kids, same thing. These are not principles that are just about toddlers or younger kids. These are lifelong principles of how we encourage cooperation, how we balance relationship and boundaries, how we build respect from our kids by giving respect to our kids, how we build a relationship where they're going to want to talk to us about sex, drugs, peer challenges down the road. It all starts in the early years. And these principles that you want to carry through will give you value like multifold. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Let's see, Crystal says, even if it's online, for the support to ask and see and bounce ideas off of. Yeah, absolutely. Kim says, Lee, I know you're a full-time mom and full-time working mom. How did you try to cram this in just the small amount of time when you're not like with your kids all day? Such a great question.
Yes. So, I think it was more about changing my mindset of, instead of saying like, oh man, this is one extra thing I have to do, it was thinking, this is what I need to do for my family. And kind of like Brittany was saying, like I was excited to get on these coaching calls because I had like my little list of like things that didn't go right for the week. And it was like, somebody help me. And the other parents and families in the community were so, so helpful in giving you a different way to maybe try that same tool. So instead of thinking like, oh, this is one extra thing, it honestly, when those tools worked, it like saved me an hour of time of being annoyed with my kids and enjoying, it was a minute issue versus an hour issue. And so it honestly, in the end, has saved me time to be able to work with my kids in a better way.
Yeah, thank you for that. Brittany, do you want to answer like your thoughts about that too? Because you also are a very busy stay-at-home mom, like working mom, stay-at-home mom. They're both busy roles. How has it worked for you to be able to have the time?
I think the tantrums and the arguments have also, having those tools and knowing what to do has definitely saved 30 minutes of a tantrum versus, okay, this is what we're going to do. And I had to change something in bedtime a little bit recently and it went so smooth. I was so shocked. I was like expecting pushback, but having that plan, it's been amazing. It's been great.
And that really is what it's all about. All of the tools that we give, like Leah, I think of the connection things. And I know Hillary, who's been a part of our mentor group too, she said, it is a mindset shift to be able to think about what is going to save you time. And that's it. It's changing those old habits. And you wouldn't be here if the old habits were working, right? If it was like, I think I'm just going to do more of what I've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you always were getting. But if you can shift the tools that I give people, I often call it's like driving in Montana. It can be a little bit opposite what you think is going to be most helpful, but it actually does help it go better. Things like, if I put the time in, I don't have time for a coaching call, but if that 30-minute or hour-long coaching call gave you back so much time the rest of the week, wouldn't it be worth it? I didn't fully explain my analogy, but in Montana, it's like I was told when it's icy that if you were going to hit a deer, my husband said, if a deer runs out in the street, you are going to want to like hit that deer, not swerve to miss it. And I would think, oh my God, that'd take everything, it'd go against my gut to feel like I could do that. But if it was more effective, I would want to do that. And so, this analogy is probably losing you, but that's just something that I think of otherwise, that like sometimes doing the most effective thing isn't what comes to us in our instinct. And so that's what I love to train people do. Just like my husband, as an experienced Montana driver, gave me the simple tool that would really help me be more effective. That's what I love to help parents do in parenting. Let's see so one question that also came in is, what is the time commitment then? So we have a Monday night group coaching call. It's 6 to 7 p.m. or 7 to 8 p.m. Monday nights. So you choose one of those 2 hours, what works for you, because we have people across the country and even internationally. And then we also have a Thursday morning time, Thursday morning for Pacific, it's noon for Eastern. So you have 2 time options, an evening and a morning or afternoon, to be able to bookend your week, to be able to get support, troubleshoot what's coming up. And then outside of that, you have my 90 lesson self-paced learning library, where it's all 5 to 15-minute videos that get you what you need to be more effective. And Brittany, how have those been for you? Again, being a working mom, busy mom, and Leah too, like what have you, what can you share, if anything, about what those videos or those handouts are like?
They've been great. I love seeing, Flora, when you share your personal experiences with your kids, and, since you're the one teaching us these tools, kind of seeing what you do, and, instead of just reading it, seeing in action really helps. And then kind of taking notes. I look forward to every lesson. Usually when I sit down, I do like a good chunk at a time, because I'm just so eager to learn more tools. I can't learn fast enough, really. As crazy as it sounds, but
I agree with you, Brittany. It's like the more you were learning, the more you were like, hold on, I have this problem. What's the next tool for that? How can I start to, really implement these things? And to kind of go like with what Kim was saying, as at the time I was going through this, I was still working. I was at home with my kids all day, sometimes by myself. It was very difficult at times, but I would literally take the kids to the park and I'd like pop one earbud in and I would just have it on my phone and I'm listening and I'm playing with the kids. And as I'm getting this information, there were times that I was able to like immediately use that information. And it was great to go, oh, this is literally happening in my life right now. Let me do what she's doing.
Yes.
And it was like having my own little personal coach with me to be able to do that. And so I would listen to it in my car, on the way to work, just different things like that. If I couldn't find that extra time when the kids were in the bath, when they would go to bed, I would watch a couple videos, those kinds of things, and just making sure that you are wanting to learn those tools, I think, for that. But every tool you use, like Bernie said, is just one more thing you have in your toolbox to work on.